What's poppin', my J dolls? And I'm back with another video. Before I get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so don't play with us, all right, y'all? If you ain't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe right now because it's free 99. Today, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all the pros and cons of having an electric car. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, there's more cons than pros. So let's get into it. I had to make a list because the way my brain be braining, it's like I'm going to forget. If I don't write it down, I'm going to forget. So I'm gonna start with the pros first, y'all. So the number one pro is obviously no gas. So if it's no gas, that means you don't have to pay for it. And gas can be expensive depending on your type of car. Now, if y'all don't know, I have a car tour on my YouTube channel. I'll actually put it at the end of this video. Y'all can go watch the car tour. And my car is a Volkswagen ID4, right? So I have a bigger car. So if you think about having like a truck and you're putting gas in it, you're probably spending close to like $70 for gas. Versus before, when I had a compact SUV, I really only spent like $30-something on gas. So essentially, you don't have to pay for gas, which is a pro, but you also have to look at what the total cost is. Let's be honest, because the electric car is probably more expensive for your monthly payment. And then you probably got to pay for either charging or you got to pay a higher electricity bill. So is it going to really be cheaper? It's probably not going to be cheaper. Let's be honest. It might either just break even or it might be more expensive. But it's kind of cool to not have to ever go to the gas station. Like, I haven't been to the gas station in like over a month. So yeah, like, especially for gas. So that's kind of fun that you don't have to actually go and get gas and pay for it every time. Like, you can just charge up your car. So another thing is no oil changes, which is really nice because when you have a normal car, like a gas car, you literally have to get oil changes like what, every 3 months or so. And so essentially you have to pay for that. So you are saving money on oil changes, and you're also saving time because literally with an electric car, you only have to get, like for my car, I don't have to get maintenance but every 10,000 miles. And so that should be like really once a year. So that's cool. I don't have to sit in a dealership while they do my oil changes. I don't have to pay for oil changes and all of that other stuff. Like, I don't have to worry about it. So I really do enjoy that. The third thing would be it heats up quickly. Your car actually warms up very quickly because it doesn't have an engine. So what I really like about my car is even if I don't start it from the app, because you can actually start your car from the app and it won't like start an engine because there's no engine. It just actually warms up your car, like just makes it a certain temperature. So even if you don't do that, and I live in Minnesota and it's freezing. Like right now it's not freezing because we're going through freaking global warming or whatever. But literally there's days where it was negative, let's say, I think like -5 or something like that. And I literally will go and turn my car on and it warms up in like literally a minute. Whereas a car with the engine takes a lot longer to warm up. So if you live in a colder state, it's pretty nice having an electric car. And I haven't had an electric car in the summertime, so I can't tell you guys if the AC is the same way, but I can only imagine that it would be. So my car personally drives very smooth. I don't really know about like Teslas and stuff like that. Tesla's going to be a more popular car, but my car drives very, very smooth. Like, it drives very fast, which I really like a lot. The next one would be cheaper insurance. Personally, my insurance was cheaper. I don't know if you got a Tesla, if it's going to be more money. I don't see why it would be because my car costs more than a Tesla, like for the basic Model Y or whatever. So I don't know why your insurance would be higher if you have a Tesla, but I have a Volkswagen ID4 and my insurance went down because I have an electric car. So that's kind of cool. Like, you can pay less insurance, you don't have to pay for gas, and you don't have to pay for oil changes. So at the end of the day, you want to do your own calculations to see if it's worth the money that you're saving or not. The next thing I would say is I really like the high-tech aspect of it. It really gives you like a spaceship vibe. Like, people that get in my car literally say like, oh my gosh, this is like a spaceship, because it's higher tech. For me, like for instance, like this is a pro and a con, but like I don't have to turn my car off, which is so cool. Like, I literally press park and like I can just jump out my car, like, and my car turns off. So that's very cool. I really like just all the technology in my car in general. I know a lot of new cars have that, but with the electric car, it's like you don't have to turn off the engine. Like, it just shuts itself off. Like, at least in my car. I don't know if Tesla does that. Like, So yeah, so I'm gonna say those are the pros. So me personally, the reason why I like having an electric car, because I like the look of it. Personally, I like the look of my car. I like the feel of the inside. I like charging my car, honestly. I just like it because it's new and it's like kind of just new technology in general. Now I'm gonna get into the cons, because you're gonna be thinking like, girl, okay, these are cool pros, but like the cons sound like terrible. So it's like, why do you like this car? But this car actually works for me. I'm gonna just tell y'all why it works for me, and then we're gonna get into the cons. Why it works for me is I don't drive a ton. Like, I actually am hybrid, so I work some days from home and some days in the office. So that gives me a lot of time to charge my car. And we'll get into the cons, but for me, it works for my lifestyle. I don't drive a ton. I don't do road trips. I don't go out a lot. And when I go out, let's say if I go out with my friends, a lot of times I'm taking an Uber because I'm drinking and I have charging at home. So it works for me because I don't drive a lot. If I did drive a lot, it would be my worst nightmare. If I did take road trips, it would be my worst nightmare. And I still get into hiccups because of this car and getting used to being, you have to plug it up. Okay, y'all? So I'm going to get into the cons with that, okay? From my personal experience. So cons is the miles on the car for when your charge is going to be done is never correct. So literally, I think when my car is at 80%, because they tell you to not fully charge your car to 100% unless you're going on some type of road trip, because it can make your battery life go down a lot quicker. So my car stops charging at 80%. It's set at 80% and then it won't charge anymore. So pretty much at 80%, it's supposed to be like 219 miles or something like that. Immediately once you drive out of the garage or whatever, like it's literally down to like 180 or something. So the miles is always fluctuating. Like, it's not accurate. And I have drove it though before when it was 20%, and it was kind of scary because I'm like, I don't know what the actual mileage is, versus when you have a gas car, when it says you got 20 miles to the tank or whatever, it is usually to the T, right? So you know, to get to the gas station, how many miles is the gas station away from, you know, you to get gas. Like with the electric car, it's like it does fluctuate. And especially, you guys, this ties in with, it's not a good car for cold weather, because when it's colder outside, your battery drains a lot quicker. So if you have your car sitting outside, your battery's gonna die a lot quicker, and the mileage is not gonna be accurate because of the temperature outside. Your mileage will start dropping faster than it would if it was just either above freezing. For me personally, when it's over 30 degrees, my car is fine. The mileage is pretty accurate. But when it's under 30 degrees, that's when it starts dipping very quickly. For me personally, I park in a heated garage. So if you don't have a garage, I wouldn't even consider this car if you didn't have a garage, because first of all, it's a very nice car. I don't like my nice car being outside, point blank period. But also on top of that, it's just too cold unless you live in a warm place. If you live in a warm place, it's a really good car for you. If you live in a cold place, you need a garage, okay? So those two go together. So you have to have charging at home. Some people, I wouldn't say you have to. It's not like a requirement. People go to charging stations. If you have a Tesla, you're going to find a charging station very quickly. If you have anything other than a Tesla, it's going to be very hard for you to find charging stations. And yes, they have charging stations at Target that are not Tesla. But the Tesla ones are superchargers. And the other ones that are just for electric vehicles, those ones are not superchargers. Like, they take about 4 hours to charge your car. I didn't know that. The one time I went there, I'm like, who the hell spends 4 hours in Target? Like, I am not going to do that. Now, the superchargers, this is what I heard. I don't have a Tesla, but the superchargers take 30 minutes. Now, with Volkswagen, you do get free charging through Amerify or something like that or whatever. And they don't have that many charging stations. For me, the closest one is like 30 minutes away. So by the time I take my car 30 minutes away and I barely have charge, then charge it up, right, to 80%, then drive another 30 minutes, which is like 20 miles. It's like I'm already using mileage going back and forth just to charge my car. Like, at that point, I'm essentially killing my battery. I would rather just charge it at home. So for me, I really suggest anyone getting this car to have a charger at home, because then it can charge overnight. Then it can charge when you're out of town and stuff like that. And in case of emergency, even if you use a supercharger, because you can use both. Like for me, I probably will go 30 minutes away one day and charge it to 80%, but then I can keep it at 80% by charging it at home, if that makes sense. I think it's essential. Me personally, I live in an apartment, so we have like apartment charging stations in our garage, but it's not the fast charging. That's another thing you have to keep in mind. If you own a home, you can actually get something installed in your home, and some electric cars you get it for free installed in your home, and then you can have fast charging at home. But that will run up your light bill, very much so. So you got to think about that when you're thinking about cost too when it comes to electric car, because if you're charging at home, it's going to take up more electricity and it's going to cost more money for your light bill or your energy bill. For me personally, I only have to pay for my parking spot, which is now $50 more. So essentially I am paying more money for that, and I'm paying more money for the car payment, and I am, I'm just paying more money for both of those things. So yeah, you need charging at home, like point blank and period. Like just in case of emergency, you just do not want your car to, like, you have no sources of like charging your car. Now my problem, you guys, is that I personally, my apartment doesn't have fast charging. It's just a regular plug-in. That regular plug-in, to take your car from, like, let's say your car is at like 50%. To take your car from like 50% to 80%, it will take you almost half of a day to get that on a regular plug. That's what I hate about a regular plug. If your car is about 30%, it takes like 24 hours to 28 hours to fully charge your car. So I'm very diligent about literally making sure I charge my car every night, unless I'm staying at other people's houses, which I don't like about having an electric car. Like, I'm telling y'all right now, like, I hate that, because if you go spend a night at someone's house, then you just wasted a whole night of like charging your car. So then essentially, if you drive a lot, then you have to go back home and charge your car or something like that. Like, it is a lot of work. But like I said, personally, I don't drive a lot, so it's not that inconvenient. And then I usually stay home like 2 days in a row for work, so it can charge for 2 days straight. So yeah, I think it just depends on like what works best for your lifestyle. Another thing is, so I told you guys it takes forever to charge. Like, if it's in a regular plug, it's going to take forever. If you're at Target, it's going to take forever unless you have a Tesla. Or unless you have a power charger at home. So just keep that in mind before you go buying an electric car, that it is not no 8 hours. It's not no 5 hours of charge. It's damn near 24 hours for a regular plug-in. And at Target, it's damn near 4 hours. So yeah, some of them do have strip malls. And it's very cheap to charge your car though, guys. Like, literally, I think it's only like 50 cents an hour or something, like $2 for 2 hours or whatever. So it's very cheap. So it's cheaper than gas, but it is inconvenient unless you're doing shopping. So yeah. Another thing is with my specific car, you guys, because like I said, I have the ID4, is when you lift your butt, your car just turns off. So it thinks you're getting out of the car. Like today, actually, my problem is when I'm getting out of the garage at work and I'm trying to scan my thing to get out of the garage, and I'm too far because my car is so big now, is when I try to lift my butt to just scan it and I still have my foot on the brake, it automatically puts my thing in park, my car in park, and turns off because it thinks you're getting out of the car, which is like something that's so annoying, especially when you don't know how to get yourself in small places. So yeah, y'all, that's one irritating thing, is it literally turns your car off. Like, you can't just like, and if you park it right so that you can kind of open your door and like scan your pass, but you lift your body up, it's going to turn your car off, and you gotta go back on the brake and put it in drive and whatever. So embarrassing. So yeah. So another con is that you have to plan ahead. So like, you literally have to think about your car. Like, if you're going to, let's say you're going to be out 3 nights in a row, like you go to the club one night, you're at one friend's house, and then the next night you're staying at your man's house. Like, this has actually happened to me before. Like, one night I went to my boo's house and I stayed over there, and then I had to park my car outside. First of all, it's cold, so it makes my battery go down more. Second of all, I can't charge it at his house because there's no charging station. So I had my car there. I was good because I have mileage, but I just like my car to be at a certain percentage, like, honestly. But anyways, so I was at his house. Then the day before that, I was at my cousin's house most of the day. So for 2 days, I was barely home. And so then my car didn't charge for 2 days. So that already kills the battery to go down to maybe like 50%. And then I got to get it back to 80%. You don't have to essentially keep it at 80% at all. But I'm paranoid. The first time I was at 20%, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get home. I need to charge my car. Like, bro, I don't know. Like, now I've become like a stickler. Like, every time I literally leave the house or come back in the house, unless I know I'm leaving in like less than an hour, I will charge my car. Point blank period. Because it stops itself at 80% anyways. And I always take my charger and put it in the trunk, because you never know when you need your charger, if you like get stranded somewhere or whatever. Like, make sure you have your fast charger and your regular charger in your car at all times. Also, they're very expensive, so if somebody steals it, you gotta replace it, and it's very spendy. So I literally always put my charger back in the trunk every single time I use it. Some people in the garage will probably leave their chargers, but hell no, I would not. Another con is no road trips. Like, you can take a road trip. I've heard people take road trips with electric cars. I would only recommend this with a Tesla and not another electrical vehicle. Only because with Tesla, there's so many superchargers around. And like I said, it only takes like 30 minutes. Supposedly, I don't have a Tesla, right? It's supposed to only take 30 minutes to charge your car. So, essentially, a 30-minute stop is not that bad when you're on an electric, or when you're on a road trip. But it's just the simple fact, with a normal car, like with a gas car, you'd be having like 300, almost 400 miles to a full tank. With an electric car, you have like 190 or something to a full tank. So it would take you so long to, like, you would literally have to keep charging your car. Like, I wouldn't take my car on a trip, and I really wouldn't take my Tesla on a trip either if I had a Tesla, because it's like you have to stop more times than you would with a gas car, because the gas car has more mileage to the tank, if that makes sense. So you really got to think about these things with getting an electric car. Personally, I love my car. I love the look of it. I love the inside. I'm happy I didn't get a Tesla. The only reason I'm happy I didn't get a Tesla because I like how big my car is. It's like essentially a truck. And I have a goddaughter, so like it's easy to put like a stroller in the car, put her car seat in the car, have room, be able to put seats down, maybe move stuff. Like if I want to move a TV or buy a TV, it is going to be so much easier for me. That's why I think also it takes so long for my car to charge, is because it's also bigger than a Tesla, so it takes longer to charge. I also just like how smooth it drives. I like that when I like put it, like, it's a pro and a con, but I do like when I put it in park and I can just hop out of my car. Like, my music be bumping, like my music still be bumping. I open my car door and I walk out, and like then it just turns off. Like, I like that. I like that I don't have to even press the button to unlock my car. I just put my hand right under the handle, my keys by it, and it opens. I love the technology in my car. I love how smooth it drives. It's smooth. It's like, I like how quiet it is. Because somebody asked me to rear the engine. Like, not rear the engine because there's no engine. Somebody asked me to start the car. I told them I would, but I haven't really did it because it's no sound. Like, literally, it's quiet. It doesn't, there's no, you can't even hit the gas and make it nothing. Like, it is a quiet car. So, I really do enjoy that. I have to still go through my manual because it's like, my car probably does so many things that I don't even know. But I love like the Siri feature where I can change my music. I love the ambient lighting where I can change the different colors. Like, I like a little bit more than Tesla, like the look of it, the design. But Tesla, what I did like about Tesla is the technology in the car. Like, you can watch YouTube, you can do all those different things. And it's kind of fun when you are charging your car. You actually can keep yourself occupied. So yeah, I actually enjoy it. It works with my lifestyle. Like I said, I don't drive a lot. And I don't go a lot of places. If I was working all the time, driving in, I would hate this car. Honestly. Because you're at work for so long. Now, what's cool is my job actually has charging stations right by my job. So if I ever got down to the wire was I'm like, oh my God, my car is like 30%, I gotta go to work, I can literally plug it in at work, and I wouldn't care if that's taking forever because I'm at work. So that is pretty cool. I don't want to use them because you gotta pay for them, and I already have parking at my house or charging at my house, and I get free charging somewhere else. So I'm like, why would I use it unless I'm in desperate need? But yeah, y'all, that's my little update. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Or let me know if you would get an electric car, if you're against electric cars, what your thoughts is on it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.